Beijing, Hebei, Sichuan. Summary of the extent of the chaos. Severe flooding combined with landslides. Buried houses, many missing. It started with rain, days of endless rain. Then the ground cracked open, rivers rose, hills collapsed. In northern China, entire homes were swallowed by mud. Villages disappeared overnight. Screams echoed, and then silence. Survivors searched for loved ones, but many are still missing. Beijing, Hebei, Sichuan, all hit without mercy. This is not just a flood. This is a chain of destruction. The land moved, the water conquered, and now China stands in turmoil, a nation buried in mud, a people caught between disaster and survival. The skies opened without warning. In Beijing's Mian district, rain poured for days, over 500 millimeters in less than a week. Rivers swelled, soil turned to sludge. Water rushed down mountains, tearing paths through everything below. Drainage systems failed, fields vanished, streets cracked. What began as a storm became a flood. What followed was worse. The weight of the water loosened the hills. One disaster triggered another, and before anyone could run, the mud came crashing down. This wasn't weather, this was collapse, a slow build to sudden chaos. Beijing's outskirts, Miyun, Huairu, and Yanqing, were the first to fall. Roads turned into rivers. Homes crumbled under waves of mud. In Hebei, entire villages disappeared. Bridges snapped. Mountains bled stone and water. In Sichuan's Rongchag County, the earth gave way without a sound, then roared to life. Families were buried before they could flee. Some towns lost power. Others lost connection. All lost control. These weren't isolated events. This was a chain reaction. From north to southwest, nature struck with brutal precision. The damage wasn't random. It was complete, relentless, and everywhere. They never saw it coming. One moment, rain. The next, silence, then a roar. Walls shook, floors vanished. Mud swallowed entire houses in seconds. In Hebei, 8 people vanished without a trace. In Sichuan, 4 more gone, buried beneath tons of earth. Families screamed into the dark, hoping someone would hear, but the mud was too thick, too fast. In one tragic scene, a care home collapsed. 31 lives lost in minutes. Rescue teams dig with bare hands. Time is cruel, hope is thin, and every second means someone might still be breathing beneath the earth. This wasn't just a natural disaster, it was a structural collapse. Over 24,000 homes damaged. 242 bridges destroyed, more than 700 kilometers of roads wiped out, entire villages left without power, over 130 communities in the dark, water lines broken, cell towers down, trucks can't enter, help can't reach. Cities like Beijing felt the impact, but rural towns were cut off completely. What connected people collapsed. What protected them failed. The flood didn't just drown streets, It drowns systems, and the silence left behind is louder than any storm. The clock was ticking, sirens wailed. Over 80,000 people fled their homes, some with nothing but the clothes they wore. Emergency shelters filled fast. Soldiers marched through mud. Firefighters carried the elderly. Volunteers formed human chains in rising waters. Boats cut through flooded streets. Helicopters hovered low, searching for movement below the debris. But time was never enough. In some towns, rescue came too late. The mud moved faster than help, and still, they searched, digging, hoping, refusing to give up, because every life still missing is a reason to keep going. The alerts were there, but the rain came faster. 11 provinces under flood warnings. Landslide risk at critical levels. Ground sensors blinked red. River gauges overflowed. Satellites tracked every cloud, every shift. But nature moved quicker than code. Some warnings came too late. Others weren't heard at all, cut off by power loss and broken lines. Technology tried, but this was no ordinary storm. This was a wall of water, crashing through every barrier. The system blinked, the earth slipped, and when it mattered most, silence filled the gaps that signals couldn't reach. The rain has slowed, but the threat remains. Hillsides are still soaked, ready to fall. Rivers haven't calmed. They're swollen, angry, unpredictable. Entire towns remain isolated. Power is down. Roads are gone. Families wait in silence, watching the clouds, fearing the next slide. Rescue teams say it's not over. Not even close. Every storm weakens the ground. Every aftershock could bring more collapse. This isn't recovery. This is survival, day by day, hour by hour. And no one knows what the next rain will bring, only that it's coming, and they must be ready. The numbers tell part of the story. Dozens dead, more still missing, thousands displaced. But behind each number is a name, a face, a life torn apart. Families now live in tents. Children sleep beside mud-soaked memories. Farmers stare at fields turned to swamps. What once was home is now debris. The road to recovery is long. Not just rebuilding walls, but rebuilding trust in the ground beneath their feet. Weeks will pass, maybe months. But the scar, on the land, on the people, they'll last much longer than the flood itself. This wasn't just nature's fury, it was a warning. Climate extremes are no longer rare, they are the new reality. Preparedness must be more than a plan. It must be instinct, early warnings, stronger infrastructure, community resilience. These are not options, they are survival. Every flood, every landslide, every buried home is a lesson written in mud. We can't control the rain, but we can choose how we face it. Stay alert, stay united, and never forget, when the ground shakes, only together can we stand.